Kenny did a little short video on it, and I definitely wanted to kind of
that was
echo.
us. Well, family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to echo some of the things that he did about the Kyle Rittenhouse response. I agreed with most of it, or if not really all of it, because it really was on, from a legal standpoint, it really was the correct, as far as at least him not being charged with murder.
Mhm.
I think the evidence did point out that like he was defending himself.
Yeah.
The issue that we both had, I think, and again, I agree with what you said on there on your response. And if you haven't seen that response, go check out Kenny's response to the Kyle Rittenhouse. It was definitely really, really well done, as usual. But it was the thing that, like, what I did not understand that they didn't go after him for was the intent of taking that gun across state lines. And I do think there's a slippery slope there, but I do think that we need to, as a society and as a judicial system, start looking at like people's intent to do something. I just don't think you should be able to go and do, like, where it looks like you're going to go there for violence.
For violence, yeah. So when I did the video, I was just stating purely what he was charged with and what the verdict was. So now, expanding on that a little bit, I don't believe that he should have been there, right? There's no reason why Kyle should have been where he was at with the assault rifle, but me commenting on the facts is the facts, right? So was he defending himself? I believe so. Yes, he was defending himself. Was the verdict correct? Probably. According to what he was charged with. Now, giving the overview, like, since you're here, and this is something that I, Wes and I wanted to talk about together, is the other factors involved. Yeah. Him protecting businesses, him taking the assault rifle, him crossing state lines. Yeah. Those are the things that we have issues with, and why he wasn't being charged. Exactly,
that's not,
and why he wasn't charged with these things. So.
And we're not supposed to allow that in our democracy, right. in a system where like we delegate that task to the police, to the military, to just law enforcement, across the board, right? Like, so I can't go and be a vigilante and then expect and that's kind of why I had an issue with some of the trials, because now it's saying I can't go be a vigilante and expect to not get in trouble. And
essentially, it's giving a license for people to do exactly that. Now, I think that there's other factors that came into play with this trial. The judge was different, right? The prosecution wasn't that stellar, but
it felt like they were trying to almost throw it.
The vibe of the whole thing was off. A lot of media attention, and it's given people the license to do this now, and it's not the case. It's definitely not the case, and this should not be the precedence that is set going forward, and that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, and I mean, and like I said, and one of the things that in the video, and I agree completely with what you just said, it's giving people that almost like the okay, like you said, the license to do it. One of the things in the video, and we talked about this on the phone one day, he said that this is he said something, I think it was along the lines of we're electing these people to do the right thing. And I agreed with him about how we're electing people, where I told him we had this kind of odd disagreement / I think that when you're in the moment, even where we are right now, you don't kind of fully think things through. You try to your best, but you're on camera, you're like, oh, what was what was the next thing?
Well, we'll talk about that. Yeah. So let's talk.
Is that we're not electing those people?
So
we're electing. We keep getting bamboozled and brainwashed into electing these scumbags.
Absolutely,
and that's why we continue to have these problems.
in my brain, and maybe call me naive, right? Yeah. I still have hope and faith in the United States that one day we will go out there and elect people that aren't grifters and actually are out to do the people's work, right?
Yeah.
But totally got what you were under. So backstory here. Yeah. Wes watched the update that I did, and was really like, hey, we're supposed to be electing people to do these things, and I got what he was saying, but just like he just said, you're on camera, you're trying to get all the facts, and you were trying to compress a video. Yeah. But I want to make sure that I say in on camera with my friend Wes that we're not doing that, and it's sad.